Okay, maybe everyone but me knew this, but I just learned from the book I'm reading, I'll put it right here, that the 3 meals a day thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is from colonialism in what...
Glad to have you, amazing viewer. It's another exciting time at Comfort for Life Network. Collection of TikTok videos for educational purposes. Amazing viewer, I just want to remind you that subscription is free of charge. Don't forget to smash that red button, subscribe to the channel, like the video for recommendation for my returning subscribers. I love and appreciate you. Moving on, I have a question for you. Have you ever find yourself eating when you're not hungry? If there's a type of colonization that has really got me, it's this one. I don't know how I'll undo this. Because sometimes I wake up in the morning and I come to notice that I've not taken breakfast maybe by 11, and I'm like, I've not taken breakfast, and I feel so guilty about it. I'm like, I'm breaking the rules of eating. It's something that is already in me. It's something that is an instinct already in me that tells me that you should be eating breakfast at this time, lunch and supper, you know. And even in between there are some times that you grab a snack, and yeah, you know. And for some people it's like after 5 to 3 hours. But do you know why you keep eating all the time when you even don't need food? Is it okay to give food to your stomach, or to eat when you don't really feel like eating, or when your body doesn't need that food at that time? What should be the right time for us to eat? If this is a colonizer, whatever, what's the right time to eat? But before then, listen to these few stitches. People reacted to this and I was like, wow, I wish I knew this earlier.
And here's what I found out. Came from European settlers who view Native Americans as uncivilized because they would eat whenever they felt the urge to. At different periods of time, different people ate in varied eating patterns. Romans only ate about 1 meal a day. In the Middle Age, nothing could be eaten before Mass. During the Industrial Revolution, lunch became super popular because workers needed energy in the middle of the day.
Okay, maybe everyone but me knew this, but I just learned from the book I'm reading, I'll put it right here, that the 3 meals a day thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, is from colonialism and white supremacy. That when the European colonizers came and saw the indigenous people eating when they were hungry.
Yep, trust me, we know. We know to only eat when the sun is right in the middle because we understand the natural rhythm of things. The problem is certain people think they are civilized than the indigenous people, but we've been knowing to only eat once a day and to actually only eat not out of addiction, but when you feel the energy to recharge. That's when we eat. We've been knowing. So decolonize your mind.
Okay, hear me out. What if by emphasizing 3 meals a day instead of actually feeding people or ensuring that people were eating when they were hungry, community leaders were able to get away with feeding their people less by tricking them into thinking that it's okay that they're hungry and they're supposed to be hungry during those in-between meal time. I say this because at my poorest, I described my lack of eating and literally being hungry all of the time as not getting more than 1 square meal a day. But the reality is, even after I ate that meal, I was fucking hungry, and I was hungry all day. But I was kind of able to delude myself into thinking that it was somewhat acceptable because at least I was getting 1 meal a day. Now, we already know that at the same time that colonizers were not necessarily able to feed their people, indigenous communities have been able to feed their people for thousands of years.
I've been waiting for this day continuously. If you don't know me, please go check out my page. I talk a lot about diet culture and its roots in white supremacy, racism, and just whiteness in the food system as a whole, and this person really articulated it well. And also thank you for sharing this book. What is so amazing about that book and also what's being discussed in that video is it really articulates how whiteness has infiltrated the way that we view and address our hunger cues, because we are trying to adhere to very strict schedules that our bodies didn't, they were not created to immediately adhere to. Like, you don't come out the womb being like, I will only eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Society tells you only eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And like, think about how many times people don't eat after dinner, even though they're still hungry, because it's like, well, I can't eat after dinner, that'd be bad.
Okay, so I actually talk about this in my membership a lot and in my course. And I think it's important to understand that, like, yes, colonialism white supremacy, like, it did a number on a lot of things, and we have been so disconnected from our bodies and our hunger cues that, like, we sometimes don't even know, you know, when to eat or what to eat, because we have been literally whitewashed in, like, every sense, right? But I do want to say that there's a caveat, right? Like, we do need to, even though we don't have to name things, I think most importantly, like, we don't need to label things like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But we really need to focus on the fact that, like, we really shouldn't be going more than 3 to 4 hours without eating. And if we were able to connect with our bodies, if that hadn't been taken away from us.
Here's why I only eat when I'm hungry. I don't know where the 3 meals a day thing came from, but there's no science to back it up. In the wild, animals literally do intermittent fasting. In nature, animals don't have 3 square meals lined up for them every day. Instead, they're lucky to eat even once a day. This style of nutrition is the best for their bodies and for our bodies. Personally, I really only eat 1 meal per day around 6 p.m. So when you train your body to only eat once or twice a day, it makes the nutrients much more effective in your body, because it teaches your body that new nutrients aren't coming until tomorrow, so you better use the ones you have now. Everyone has different advice on when to eat. This is just what I do. Tell me what you do for meals in the comments.
So what could be the way forward from this? There are people who are going back to the indigenous way of eating, where this guy was talking of eating a lot of meat, eating a lot of eggs, are saying, I'm eating like my ancestors. So should this be the way for us to go, or what do you think should be the way forward? Should it go to the uncivilized way of eating, in quote, uncivilized way of eating, or what should we be doing? Though sometimes I eat knowing very well that there's nothing that I'm solving here. I don't need this food, but I will eat. So I'm trying to start this journey to decolonize my diet so that I can be able to live holistically, because I need that holistic way of living. Since this was a way to impose the European cultures to indigenous people, I feel like there must be a way forward, because these 3 meals, to be honest, I don't think maybe men are doing well with this, but for most women I've interacted with, they drop a lot of meals. Yeah, because I don't know how are we created, because for me the 3 meals aren't working at all. So because sometimes I find myself not eating, like, I don't know what you think about this. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, share your thoughts kindly. How do you think? Is it important for us to restructure the way we eat, or should we just stick on what our body system is used to? What would be the way forward? Because this is what we are teaching our children as well. It can be a fight if I wake up in the morning and I tell my children no breakfast today or no lunch today. They will keep coming home and go back, you know. They will keep checking to see if the meal is ready, because they are already wired in that way, where they know that they should be eating at this certain particular time, you know. That was it about this video. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe.